Welcome everybody to the Denver Broncos franchise on Madden 20. My name is MrHurriicane and I am very excited to get into year 2 with this franchise. And today we are recapping the entire preseason, and this is a big video, so you may want to pause this and go get you a nice 3-course dinner or something, because we're going to be here a while talking about this team and getting the stage set for year 2. We have to begin with a discussion at quarterback, and after drafting Cain at number 7 overall and seeing his ratings, and then taking Hudson Brooks later in the 5th round, this has not been easy to figure out. All 3 of our quarterbacks have different skill sets and areas where they thrive the most. We also missed out on getting players like Rodney Hudson in the offseason, so we have not made this dramatic change from year 1 to year 2. There are certainly players to be excited about. There is rookie left tackle Mac Hillhouse, who's a very good pass protector. I've tried now with an experiment moving Dalton Reisner to center. We drafted Tremaine Atkins in the 2nd round. I want him to start on day 1. This season is not going to be an easy one by any stretch, but it's going to be a season where I hope we can find young players that can truly be part of a great future with this team. So that begins here in the preseason. Who can make an impact and stand out here in year 2? I did stream the first 2 games, so I'll be recapping those, of course. You can watch the stream if you choose. And then I played the last 2, and I'll recap those and show you the final roster. So we begin with part 1 of this quarterback battle. Last year, for most of the season, we started Drew Lock, and his play wasn't good enough to stick with him moving into the future. I drafted 2 quarterbacks, and we get the preseason underway by welcoming back Phillip Lindsay from injury, and then he gets hurt on the very first play of the preseason. That'd be his first and only play, suffering a dislocated knee that will keep him out until week 3 of the regular season. Now let's grade some passes, and this one from Locke is not very good, not even close to his intended targets. We'll jump around these games quite a bit, and I'll try to show you the plays that stood out the most. It will be mostly focused on the offense, but there were some defensive players that stood out, and here's one of our best. Von Miller with the safety on Mitch Trubisky. We get it back. And now Royce Freeman in the game. How could we run behind this offensive line that we have moved around a little bit? Well, not much there for Royce. Then we go to the air on a 2nd and 20. And again, Locke is just nowhere close. We'll try again, a 3rd and 20. Locke delivering over the middle. And there's a catch for Richie James Jr. I signed him late last season, and now we're finally getting a chance to see him on the field. We'll get to the defense, and there is our new star in the middle as we made the move to bring in Miles Jack. I cannot wait to see the impact he has with his speed. I think screens are going to be very difficult against us, and he should make a good defense even better. But the Bears got down to the red zone here on 1st and goal. We get some pressure. It's a bit late, but it shows up regardless. Tremaine Atkins. Can he bring impact to our defense in year 1 of his career? Drew Lock continues later on, and the protection really tough up front, especially here against the Bears. I moved Garrett Bowles to left guard, Reisner to center. I was hoping we could be a little bit better than a year ago. Well, here on the kick return, Richie James showing off his electrifying running ability. I had to sign him off of the San Francisco practice squad. I just thought he was too good of an athlete. We had to give him a chance. And now, coming out for his preseason debut, we have 7th overall pick Cain. And let me know down below. I want your thoughts. I'll have a poll on this video, actually. Let me know who you think should be the opening day starter at quarterback. Well, here's Cain to the outside, as his mid-accuracy is the best on the team. He should be very good at throws like that. Then on 1st down, Cain, that one just got away from him. That's a throw he needs to make. We had a wide open man. Getting the carries here is undrafted rookie running back Sean Pitts, who has hidden development. I was hoping he could show some good potential. And then a 3rd and 21 on the move, and Cain delivers. That's not really his game. He's the traditional pocket passer, but that's a very good throw to Richie James Jr. And then we get down inside the 10 and try to throw it up for Sean Pitts, and that just didn't work. Locke didn't complete his passes at a very effective rate, and neither did Adam Cain. Here we go with backups, and Bohannon for Chicago goes downfield, and that's a catch against Emmanuel Hall, or for Emmanuel Hall, rather. And then we'll get another kick return. Richie James had a good one earlier. This time, not a ton on the return, and James is shaken up. We've seen him get hurt a couple times in this series now, so he had to exit the game. And Adam Cain now throws to River Craycraft, who would get some slot snaps with James out the rest of this game. 3rd and 3. Cain floating toward the sideline and again missing badly. Just 3 for 10 to this point. We go back to the defense in the 3rd quarter, and we had to spy this backup quarterback and did so here. Christian Baxter makes the play, and he is one of the players I'm really excited about. He was a 4th round selection. Back to the offense and trying to fit this into undrafted Miles Starkey. That didn't work. We just really couldn't get a thing going against Chicago. Meanwhile, they're trying to get down the field, and Baxter is there. Tight coverage against the tight end. You love seeing that. And then I gave the rest of the game to Hudson Brooks. Brooks is a 5th rounder with hidden development, which means he has the highest development on the roster at quarterback. He has some mobility. He can throw short and deep, but not medium. And here Keith Kirkwood gets hurt, and this would actually end his preseason, unfortunately. Here we get a great throw from Hudson Brooks as he floats this one for Noah Fant, a player we really hope is ready for a 2nd-year breakout after not playing much as a rookie. It's 2nd and 9 now. Brooks, a little late trying to go to the flats, and that's intercepted, and down the sideline, the Bears get a pick 6. The very next play for Hudson Brooks, or his next pass, he tries to stretch the field, and that is also intercepted. Trying to go far for Miles Starkey really didn't work. He was an undrafted wideout, solid athlete, but really an underneath receiver, not a downfield one. But still, I tried to force him the ball, and clearly that didn't work. So, Starkey is no deep threat. Let's continue on. Defense back on the field. We got some pressure. There we go, and it's Tremaine Atkins getting 2.5 sacks in his preseason debut. Back with a couple more plays. Brooks over the middle, and that is hauled in by River Craycraft on the slant. And then Brooks clean pocket, wide open look. He completes to Damian Ratley. Brooks trying to finish strong, 30 seconds left, and this throw is a little off the mark. I was hoping to see the quarterbacks make some plays here in tough circumstances, but nobody played well in the first game. We barely had 100 yards against the Bears, and between the 3 quarterbacks, I felt like Brooks was best, but no one really separated themselves in this game. I was impressed, though, with Richie James Jr., especially with nobody else doing anything. He at least had a few catches and that nice kick return. And then on defense, you gotta love what Atkins did along with Miles Jack. So after this game, we found out that Lindsey's preseason would be done, as well as Keith Kirkwood's. And then we go into game number 2, but before that, we had Ronald Leary, our veteran guard, help us out with developing Mac Hillhouse a little bit. This is one of the nice perks to having veterans on the roster, but also Ron Leary is one of our highest overall players on offense. So let's go to game 2, also part of the live stream. The Browns are the opponents this time, and here's a catch and fumble as Jarvis Landry coughs it up, and Miles Jack is the one who forced it. I am so excited to see how productive he can be in our defense. So we get a short field. We're going to run power here. Thought we had a touchdown, but Bo Lee didn't hold his block, and Freeman only gets a little yardage. So Locke 3rd and 8 has to throw it with pressure, and Freeman is unable to hang on to this one. So no touchdown here for Denver. Still no touchdowns in the preseason. And the Browns get it again, running with Nick Chubb. He busts off a nice carry here to cross midfield. And then we get a little scare here with Von Miller getting hurt, but it was not serious. 3rd and 7. Pocket for Mayfield is clean, and the catch is made. What a play. David Njoku inside the 10. So it looks like the Browns are about to take the lead. But then Baker Mayfield is intercepted by Kareem Jackson, who led the team in interceptions a season ago. Drew Lock once again begins this game, really hoping to bounce back. And here's a good play with him having to roll out and throw across his body. It's not an easy throw, but it's one that Lock is pretty good at. And then under pressure, he dumps it off for Royce Freeman, who makes a good move to at least give us a first down. 2 plays later, Lock on second down gets an open look to Richie James. I wanted to see if James could take over this Emmanuel Sanders role and play the slots and come across the middle for us. 3rd down, Richie James is there again, trying to fight for the first down. He couldn't do it, and I wasn't about to kick here on 4th and inches, so we run it and still can't get it done. Royce Freeman struggling here to start, but the blocking didn't give him any favors. Nick Chubb later trying to run the ball, and making the stop here is number 95, Christian Covington, one of our free agent signings, who's also there to hit Mayfield here on the screen attempt for the sack. Lock getting another possession here in the second quarter, a 3rd down pass, and that's a nice catch made by Courtland Sutton. And not signing a veteran means that we really need him to become that number 1 wideout this year. Lock on the move. How about that throw? He gave Jake Butt a chance. It was a really good pass, but no catch. Later 3rd down, over the middle, Richie James. Those are the passes we need, but those are also passes that lead to big hits. And James is hurt again, and that one would end his preseason. He'll miss a little regular season time as well. We finally got into the end zone a little bit later for the first time with Royce Freeman, and we got a nice block from Bo Lee in the process. Lock was much better in this game, so how about Adam Cain on a 3rd and 4, good protection, and breaking open, there is Courtland Sutton, and that'll put us at the 30 of Cleveland. Had to see Cain here get a chance to play with the starters. There's the pass to the outside, hauled in by Deshaun Hamilton. Big year for him as well. On the 3rd and 20, we throw it up top, and look who comes down with it! Courtland Sutton! That is an element to this offense we need. Is there a one-on-one receiver we can throw it up to and trust to make a play? Sutton does it here against Greedy Williams. On defense, we faced Coffee of the Browns, and he's chased and sacked here on this 3rd down by Christian Covington. Very impressed with him in this game. Later, the Browns got into the red zone, and their 1st round pick was Centarius Phillips, who makes the touchdown catch. He is extremely talented, but he is under 4 receivers on this Browns depth chart. Later, the Browns had it at the 2. And the run defense here for the backups got a little sloppy as we get a 98-yard touchdown here for C.J. Anderson, and that would tie the game. Hudson Brooks enters later in the 3rd quarter. Cain was better, Lock was better, and here's a good throw, hauled in by former Brown Damian Ratley. From the 48, Brooks rolling away from pressure, and he's on the move, completing this one to rookie 3rd rounder Kari Bigby. I had to get a speed element in this offense, and I drafted him to fill that role. Then going deep down the field, Miles Starkey! He stays on his feet for the touchdown! He's got speed, but I didn't know he could break tackles like this. We look for big plays in the preseason, especially with the team struggling and just wanting to find players to rally behind. Miles Starkey with one of the plays of the preseason. Later, we go to the air with Hudson Brooks, and he's launching one downfield again, but overthrows Ratley, who had a chance. We ran the ball a little bit here and there. Kareth White is in. He has a lot more speed than some of our other backs, so I had to see what he could do, especially with Lindsey hurt. Then rolling away, Brooks trying to make a tough play, unable to here. And on 2nd down and 10, we hand this one to Sean Pitts. Not as fast as some other backs, but if he can run with power, he'll have a chance. Unfortunately, he got hurt on this play and suffered a foot fracture, and that would end his preseason. There's a miss from Brooks. He had Noah Fant open, but those medium passes give him some issues. We go for it on 4th and 3 and hit the pass to Kari Bigby. He comes away with it at the 29. A couple plays later, Brooks throwing his way again, and a one-handed grab is made at the 5-yard line. I was wondering if Bigby could stand out enough to carve out a role in this offense. He helped himself in this game. On 3rd and goal, Brooks for Ratley. We finish the drive. Touchdown, Denver. All 3 quarterbacks were much better in game 2. And we look to finish this one. That pass is broken up, intended for Centarius Phillips. And on 3rd and 2, here's a pass knocked down. Tight coverage from Christian Baxter. Maybe 2 more plays to go in this one, as time for coffee leads to a big connection here with Centarius Phillips. That sets them up at the 1, and they try to get in the end zone. But on 1st down, the pressure is just too much, everybody, and the sack goes to DeMarcus Walker to end game 2, a game we won. All 3 quarterbacks look good, so there still wasn't a ton of separation here in the battle. They all were bad in the first game, all were good in the second. And then we saw Bigby, Sutton, Richie James make some plays. Unfortunately, James suffered a broken collarbone, and his injury will take some time to heal. So that took us to the end of the stream. Ronald Leary helped out Mac Hillhouse with his awareness. And here was the injury status to this point. So now let's get into the last 2 games I played off stream. Don't forget to let me know down below in the comment section not only which quarterback you'd like to see start in week 1, but just any players who have impressed you in general. Love seeing your feedback here in the preseason as I figure out who's going to play. And here's Marquise Goodwin. He gets behind Chris Harris on 1 play, and then behind Damian Charles a couple later. Charles, a rookie corner who has hidden development. No one can cover Marquise Goodwin, but I was still focused on this quarterback battle. Again, Locke gets the start. Can we see some separation? Locke, oh, that's intercepted. Trying to go for Sutton. The pass was inaccurate, it said, but that's more of a decision interception, I'd say. So Locke gets it later, and the pressure, just too much. Didn't matter if we double team with Reisner and Bowles. They both seemed to struggle. 3rd and 17. Locke. He's got no chance. There's just nothing you can do when the pressure is that fierce. Later we force a stop and get Bigby to return a punt, and it's not much of a return, but he also suffers an injury. A lot of receivers had injuries here in the preseason, and that would sadly end Bigby's time here in the preseason. So we get back to work, trying to throw some short passes, get into a rhythm. Locke finds Hamilton on 1, and then goes over the middle and finds Cortland Sutton for another. It's a 3rd and 7 later on. Locke throws to his right. Hamilton there again, getting into San Francisco territory. We follow that up with a little RPO. Hold the linebacker, throw it over his head to Noah Fant. I didn't show it earlier, but Jake Butt also had an injury, so it was a big chance for Noah Fant and some of these backup receivers to show that they are ready, and there's a touchdown. Very good drive, capped off by a River Craycraft score. Then Hudson Brooks got his shot. I had to see him at least a little bit here with the starters, and that's a great throw connecting again. Sutton makes the catch. He did well in traffic in this preseason. Later in the first half, play action for Brooks. He tries to get this one downfield, and Sutton was there. It hit him in the hands, but that was a very good throw. We'll try a 3rd and 10. Brooks over the middle. Sutton, no, he couldn't hang on to this one. He did make some plays in traffic, but I guess he missed a couple as well. We have San Francisco backed up here later on, and we force a safety. And the first man there was Christian Covington. Good to see him stand out on this defensive line that is brand new. Brooks, that is way off the mark. Those are the throws that really worry me, and his medium accuracy is just so low at 66. 3rd and 16, in trouble. The pressure is just too much, and one thing that happens here in the preseason is you start to have backup linemen facing starting rushers. It's not a good time. Here's a deep shot now, and getting behind the defense, that is Noah Fant. We motioned him out, one-on-one, Richard Sherman. He just runs past him. We have to find creative ways to use Noah Fant. I wanted the speed element. We've had him this whole time. Last play of the half, we get Hudson Brooks going up top for Sutton, and there's a great catch downfield. This year, after what I've seen in the preseason, I will be taking some shots at Sutton one-on-one. Let's go into the second half. Brooks is still out there. He can run, but it's just so risky. And here he loses the football and San Francisco takes over. He can run, but I mean with 76 speed, he's not going to be a game changer. Sean Pitts hurt on that play. I think he got hurt earlier. This is actually the hit that ended his preseason. Brooks rolling out, trying to go deep with this one. I thought we had it. Interception, Richard Sherman. Nice play. Let's try again later on. 3rd down, Hudson Brooks, and open across the middle. This is number 15, Juwann Winfree, who I think was on IR to begin the series. I can't remember exactly, but he was already on the roster. We never saw him a year ago. We try a little reverse to Ricardo Ellington. That didn't work out too well, not as I hoped. 2nd down and 10 for Adam Cain, who gets the ball in the 4th quarter. He rolls and throws for Damian Ratley, and this picks up 9 yards. 3 receivers on the field for Denver. Here's a 3rd and 26, and we're just going to throw it to the outside. It's a good throw from Cain, one that I think he can do better than the other quarterbacks on the roster. We go forward on 4th and 13. Cain going to get outside the pocket and fire one accurately. It's complete to Winfree into 49er territory. You can expect to see us call a lot of RPOs this year, and here's another successful one, and that is Bo Lee, and that was his best catch of the preseason. 3rd down and 20, a couple plays later against the pressure. Yeah, jumped and intercepted. There were some bad picks in here, but the interceptions really don't have to do with my evaluation of these quarterbacks unless they were accuracy related. We get an RPO going later, hitting Noah Fant here on the slant. 2nd down, we'll try a fake now, play action, and going downfield, we have a man there, and the catch is made! Damian Ratley for 51 yards. Can he be the downfield threat this team needs? Goal to go now. Cain over the middle. Uh-oh, up for grabs, intercepted. Not much you can do there. Some bad interceptions in this, but they really weren't all on the quarterbacks, so not a big deal. We got one more play, though, to go here, and it's going to be Adam Cain delivering to Juwann Winfree, who emerged here in Game 3, made an impact. Kirkwood was hurt, Richie James, Kari Bigby, so now Winfree gets the chance and makes the most of it. I feel like Cain played really well in this game outside of those interceptions. His passes were mostly accurate, and Ratley and Winfree benefited a lot from his play. But then there was the Noah Fant touchdown thrown by Hudson Brooks. That was really nice. The interior defensive line, or offensive line, didn't play very well. And the injuries just continue to add up here on offense. It's purely skill players. And I made one move here to put Sean Pitts on IR, essentially stashing him on the roster for the whole season. We get an upgrade here for Christian Baxter. He definitely stood out, but there were still some plays that he struggled on. His run defense wasn't great if a blocker was able to get to him, but he's fast, so he is able to make it to a spot before a blocker can reach him, and he'll have some value on this team. Let's go into Game 4. Nick Foles' time in Jacksonville, but the pressure is there, and he's sacked and hurt. Christian Covington with the play, and that brought out Gardner Minshew. 3rd and 10, Minshew between the zones, complete. Later, it's Minshew on 2nd down, and this one is knocked away. Good job there in pass defense by Josie Jewell. 3rd and 12. Here, Minshew's going to go into coverage, and the catch is made, and guess who that is? Emmanuel Sanders, the former Bronco with one of the best plays all preseason. He looks good in Jacksonville, doesn't he? That's why I brought him there a few franchises ago. 7-0 Jacksonville. Drew Lock playing again, and look at this, room to run for Royce Freeman. That was one of the first times all preseason he got to do that. Lock in the pistol on 1st down. He'll get time to fire outside, and there's Damian Ratley, who started emerging in Game 3. Minshew gets it later, and Gardner Minshew again just can do no wrong. Emmanuel Sanders with another fantastic reception. Can we slow down Minshew, please? 3rd and 2, floating outside and knocked away by safety Will Parks. Let's pick it up with the offense, and Adam Cain playing after Drew Lock, facing the pressure and delivering. Deshaun Hamilton. Then it's motion. Jet sweep, Damian Ratley. It worked. Got a 1st down out of it at least. 1st and 10. 3 wide on the field. Good pickup and catch. Damian Ratley inside the 35. And yes, he suffered an injury here, but it was not a serious one. It would end his day, however. Jacksonville has it later on, and there's a great play by Miles Jack, hoping that he can be a leader for us in run defense. Wasn't easy here running on our #1 defense, though, as Jacksonville is down to their 3rd running back because of injuries. Minshew, there's a play. We knocked that one away. Kareem Jackson sent a nice blitz at Minshew that time. Offense again, Adam Cain out there. And he's set to throw this one across the middle. Juwann Winfree, nice catch. And he's into Jacksonville territory. We're going offset pistol here, and play fake Adam Cain. He'll lob it downfield. Bo Lee! He's not a downfield receiver either. Interception for Jacksonville. Minshew mania continues, and there's a stop. Christian Baxter makes the play again. 2nd and 11, play fake. Minshew going down the middle, and how about this one? DJ Chark gets inside of Clifford Claiborne, the undrafted safety. Jacksonville built up a nice lead here. We really couldn't do a whole lot, sadly. But we do get Kareth White downhill here on the outside run, and he picks up good yardage. Cain on 1st down, accurate to Juwann Winfree. He wins on the short out route. 2nd and 5, play fake. Cain gonna lob it up there, and that's brought in. Juwann Winfree. He has my attention. Ball at the 22. Give to Kareth White. With his speed, he's able to stretch this outside and turn no gain into about 6 yards. So we're at the 16. Cain outside, nice catch. That's Jeff Hireman getting a chance. Cain now 7 for 11. And we're trying to throw it, and it's picked off right at the 1-yard line. So not helping Cain's stats very much. Still made some nice throws. It's 20-0 Jacksonville, and Gardner Minshew wants more. Touchdown, Jeff Swaim. Minshew looks so good in this game. Let's see our offense a bit more. Adam Cain getting at least a little more playing time, and he's going to try to stretch the field with Winfree. What an impact he's made here in the 3rd and 4th games of the preseason. Ricardo Ellington getting a chance on a couple gadget plays, but not a lot there for him, the undrafted receiver. Ball at the 29. Adam Cain in trouble. Pressure too much. I had to deal with Eric Armstead and Calais Campbell in back-to-back games. They didn't come out. Jaguars have it, running the ball, and Christian Baxter misses his tackle, and that leads to a 40-yard touchdown here for Jacksonville. Baxter had a few of those missed tackles, so he'll need some time to develop, but the potential is certainly there. Hudson Brooks gets the rest of the snaps, and he's going play action, rolling out, and outside the numbers, how about this beauty of a throw? Guess who it is? Juwann Winfree. Two receivers on the field, and Brooks is throwing again. He's hit, lofts it down the sideline, right to Winfree! What a performance for Juwann Winfree here in his second season. That's a 25-yarder. Brooks later at the 16 will complete this pass to River Craycraft. And then on 4th and 4, we're going to keep it in the air. Tough catch, Miles Starkey. I promise we ran the ball too. It's just most runs weren't very notable, but Kareth White started to find a little daylight here. He runs for 9, and then bouncing another one. Speed makes such a difference, and that's why I had to see what he could do with Lindsey Hurt. I might need him to play. Brooks 4th down. He's going to lob this one, and Craycraft is unable to hang on to it, but the ball was put right there. Fourth quarter, winding down, preseason almost over. Hudson Brooks, little check down action here to Kareth White, not bad. On 2nd down, Brooks back to the air, and now getting the open look to the outside, Jeff Heuerman. Brooks continuing to make some good throws, and then a run. Kareth White, he gets a little room, and he can do a lot with it. Up to 51 yards in this game. We go forward on 4th and 14, and Brooks is going to deliver a strike, but Ricardo Ellington can't hang on. Not many of these low-rated receivers make those kinds of catches. And we get one final play, everybody. It is Hudson Brooks completing to River Craycraft to end the preseason. The Broncos go 1-3. We suffered a lot of injuries to our running backs and receivers. And that is it for the second preseason of the series. I thought Cain and Brooks looked good here in Game 4, but I still feel like there wasn't a ton of separation, and you'll see the stats pretty soon, and they're fairly similar. But one player who really made the team in this game was Juwann Winfree. Here are the final stats for our preseason. All three quarterbacks had similar completion percentages. I'd grade their performances all pretty similarly, and I still don't know who the day one starter is going to be. I'd like to see what you have to say before I make my final decision. The running game didn't do too well, but Kareth White showed some flashes. In the passing game, you gotta love what Juwann Winfree put together along with Damian Ratley and Cortland Sutton. I feel that overall our receivers showed a lot of potential, and there are some players that I want to keep on the practice squad and hopefully bring back for another preseason or two. On the offensive line, Dalton Reisner was not as good as I hoped he would be, and I'm interested in adding another center, but you'll see how difficult that is here in a moment. Miles Jack led the defense in tackles, also liked the flashes from Christian Baxter, and I was very impressed by Christian Covington, who had an impact in multiple games. By the way, in Miami, Jesse Heikkinen in his first 3 games was outstanding. I can't show you game 4 because it's impossible. I have to sim, and by then I can't check the stats for the 4th game. But Heikkinen was very good. So let's begin to make our moves here. I started out by putting Keith Kirkwood on IR, so he's basically a roster stash. And here are the other moves that I made. These are all the practice squad players, including Bo Lee. Just didn't think he was good enough to make the main roster, especially over Jeff Heuerman. Miles Starkey to the practice squad. We released Tim Patrick. We get to upgrade River Craycraft, who makes the team again. We'll see if he gets some chances. I feel the bottom of the depth chart now just got extremely competitive. I look to the trade market for potential moves. I'm not trading for a receiver right now. I was interested in trading for a center. Earlier in the preseason, Chase Roulier was on the block, and he was the first player traded in the preseason. He goes to the Raiders. So now we get to play against him, and I'm left wishing I had made a trade to bring him here because the Reisner experiment really hasn't worked. But I went through everybody's roster and did not see a backup center we could trade for. It looks like Reisner is just going to have to get better. I do want to trade Todd Davis at some point, but I'm not doing that yet. When we got to week 1, I put Kari Bigby on injured reserve, and by doing so, I make it possible for him to be returned later on. If I IR'd him in the preseason, I could not. So the door is open for him to come back later on. But here are all the injuries we have, and they're all offensive skill players. And as a result, with the running back situation, I am going to sign J.D. McKissick. Kareth White did make the team, but I want to add J.D. McKissick to be our 3rd running back. He's a good veteran who can catch the ball better than most backs, so he makes the team. Here is a look at how things look right now. Again, I have not decided on the day 1 quarterback yet, but this is the offense, and it probably won't be a very good one. I think that we have a long way to go along the offensive line. Our quarterbacks are all young and need work. My main hope is that Mac Hillhouse and Cortland Sutton can prove to be very good, and I want to see Noah Fant take major strides. On defense, I was actually pretty impressed by them in the preseason, and with Christian Covington's play, maybe the D-line won't be as much of a concern as I thought earlier in the offseason. When it comes to special teams, Damian Charles will likely handle some returns. And then, here's a look at our specialist depth chart. Damian Ratley is going to play in the slot. Jawan Winfrey will be the number 4 receiver. And then our practice squad. All players who are on our team during the preseason. Our roster is getting younger. We still have a long way to go in this rebuild. We have a defensive football team with a ton of veterans, and then an extremely young offense that I hope can find some direction this year. The vast majority of this roster is under the age of 26, and I want to keep this roster young as we try to find the players that can hopefully take us to the playoffs again one day. There are very few veterans, and the ones we have, many of them may end up being traded at some point this season, depending on how the year goes. Here are all the situations for the Kalispell Dynasty players that were in our draft class. Jesse Heikkinen, of course, starts. Sadly, Sharquez Towns is 3rd on the depth chart at running back. At receiver in Cleveland, Centarius Phillips is the number 5 as they're trying to trade away Antonio Callaway, and their number 5 corner is Glenn Hayes. In Chicago, Mike Harris made the opening day roster. He is their number 6 wide receiver. In Houston, Marion Triplett is backing up Jadeveon Clowney and sadly not starting on the opposite side. Chad Sweezy is the number 3 tight end with the Giants. Reno Springs is the number 4 running back with the 49ers, but number 3 while Tevin Coleman is hurt. And then Terrence McKinley is the only player not on a team right now and not even on a practice squad. We'll see if anybody decides to sign him at any point. And then, of course, Bo Lee is on our practice squad. And I'll tell you right now, Blackjack has a great start going to the year 2 class. It's going to be really fun. And I hope to see more of these players get bigger roles and develop. So our season will begin next time against the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that we split the season series with a year ago. We open with 4 straight on the road, and year 2 is set to get underway. Leave any feedback you have down below, and my plan is to get both week 1 and week 2 against the Dolphins on the channel this week. Thank you all for watching and supporting the Denver Broncos franchise. Please smash that like button and hit the subscribe as well. I'll have some exciting Broncos franchise coming your way soon as QB1 is revealed. Have a great day, everybody.